Hello everyone, welcome to another video of mine. It's Kemal AA and this is another Chelsea transfer news video for you guys, where I keep you guys up to date with all the latest Chelsea news in the past 24 hours. And in this video I'll be speaking about three main stories. The first one is in regards to Upamecano. I've got latest news in regards to him, news about Kante as well, and also a little bit of news for tonight's game against Barnsley in around the 16 game against Barnsley in the FA Cup. Kepa to potentially start, so I'll be delving into all the news in regards to that and Thomas Tuchel's comments. But before I do get into it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to my channel if you are new here, hit the bell notification, comment down below your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's get straight into today's Chelsea News Daily video. Now for the first news story, and it is in regards to Upamecano. To him now, it's breaking news, it's big news, and it's looking highly unlikely Chelsea are going to be signing Upamecano in the summer window. It's looking heavily, very likely that Bayern Munich will be signing Upamecano. It's confirmed that Chelsea could be set to lose out on RB Leipzig centre-back Upamecano, with the defender keen to stay in Germany. Upamecano, who is 22 years of age, is one of the most sought-after centre-halves in Europe, and reports have suggested the existence of a €42.5 million release clause in his contract that becomes active at the end of the season. According to Football's Transfers, Upamecano has his heart set on a move to Bayern Munich in the summer, despite heavy interest shown by the likes of Chelsea and Liverpool. It was reported recently that Manchester United had dropped out of the race to sign a Frenchman in the summer, leaving Chelsea in a three-way battle with Bayern and Liverpool for the Leipzig man. Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel has reportedly made the Frenchman his top target for the summer, as a former Dortmund boss looks to rebuild his defence in an attempt to make his side title challengers next season. The Blues have no problem meeting the defender's release clause and wage demands, and are willing to match his transfer fee owing to club owner Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich. But yes, it's looking like he'll be moving to Bayern Munich, and this is what I said to a lot of you guys yesterday and in the past few weeks in regards to Upamecano, is that Chelsea can afford a release clause. It's not an issue. It's quite cheap in regards to the quality and calibre of the defender that Upamecano is. His wage demands is also perfectly fine. The issue is it's up to the player and his entourage. Many clubs can afford the release clause. Liverpool can, United can, Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain can, of course Bayern Munich can, and they're currently leading the race. It's really up to the player. And he's already playing in Germany, he's already playing in Bundesliga, he's familiar with the league, he's adapted to Bundesliga. So moving away to Bayern Munich, again, European champions, one of the most elite clubs in Europe, slightly above Chelsea at the moment in terms of squad, in terms of the way they are in their project, the amount of trophies they're winning. And Chelsea will get to that level in the next couple of years. That's the level that we are aspiring to be and become an elite club again with the squad that we have. We're growing, developing. But again, the fact that they're European champions, they're already playing the same league, it's a very easy adaptation period for Upamecano. He doesn't really have to adapt. He still stays in the same country. He's comfortable with the culture, with the sporting culture, with the league. So it's understandable. I knew this would be really difficult. I've always said for time that Chelsea are never favourites for Upamecano. It was always Bayern Munich that were favourites for him, and that is something that we had to come to terms with. Hence why that I said that Chelsea should be looking elsewhere. I still prefer the likes of David Alaba, I still prefer Varane, etc. I'm never a massive fan of Upamecano, but he's still a good centre-back, good ball-playing centre-back, has some nice attributes. But it's looking highly likely that Upamecano will be moving to Bayern Munich, and that is in regards to him. But leave me your thoughts, opinions. Are you unhappy about that? You're unhappy that Chelsea will not be signing Upamecano? It's not definite, we could still sign him, but we are not leading the race. Bayern Munich leading the race, and it's looking likely that he will be signing for Bayern Munich in the summer window. I'm moving on to the next report, and that is in regards to Kante, and it's broken by Nizar Kinsella, Chelsea connected journalist, stating that should Kante fail to dislodge those in front of him, i.e. Jorginho and Kovacic, in the current pecking order, then a transfer away from Chelsea would likely begin to be considered, at least in the media and by supporters. Inter Milan briefly explored the possibility of signing Kante over the summer, and Chelsea were not opposed to it. Frank Lampard at the time blocked the move. Now, this is legitimate stuff. Inter Milan had actual and genuine interest in Kante. They even offered a swap deal. They even offered Chelsea Christian Eriksen plus cash for Kante, because Chelsea were demanding between a range of in the region of 70 to 80 million pounds at the time. Inter Milan didn't have that because of the pandemic, the financial situation, with the fact that we're in a global pandemic, they couldn't afford the region of 70 to 80 million pounds, and so they offered Christian Eriksen, who was on astronomical wages, who never has actually hit the ground running Inter Milan in the Serie A, and they offered him Chelsea, of course, rejected, we just signed Kai Havertz, we've got Ziyech. We have an abundance of creative attacking midfielders. It's a position that we don't need. And again, Christian Eriksen with his age, and it didn't make any sense. And so Chelsea were like, listen, you want the player, just give us the cash. Give us that £80 million, give us that £75 million. And the other problem as well was that Frank Lampard had Kante in his plans, because of course Frank Lampard had that system where he played with the two attacking aides, and he wanted an athletic number 6/CDM, and that was of course with the N'Golo Kante and Declan Rice. We never got Declan Rice, and Kante was his main player in that position, and so again Frank Lampard blocked the move at the time. There is legitimate interest from Inter Milan at the time. Now, could he go to Inter Milan? Potentially, if they're still interested. Potentially. Now, we need to consider various factors. Now, here are my thoughts, opinions on the situation. For me, we should be looking to sell N'Golo Kante. Now, I know that may anger a lot of you guys, but hear me out on this. I'm going to give a logical reason to this. Kante currently is 29 years of age. He will turn 30 years of age in the next month. Literally in 1 month time, Kante will be 30 years of age, meaning that he has potentially passed his prime. From here on now, he could be down on a decline. Why? Kante is a player that relies on his athleticism. He's a box-to-box midfielder, and as Tuchel, described perfectly, he plays best in a double six in a box-to-box role with someone next to him. His best position is not as a lone DM in that CDM role. He's not a natural CDM. He's a natural box-to-box midfielder who relies on his athleticism, his ability to run, his high energy, his high press, to essentially operate in the midfield and win the ball back in high areas and intercept a lot of the ball. The problem is as well is that he's been mismanaged by our previous two managers, i.e. your Antonio Conte, your Mauricio Sarri, who overrun him completely. He was playing 55 games, 60 games per season. Yeah, and in his prime, it's fine, it's okay, but once the age kicks in and you're past your prime and you're slowly declining, those muscular injuries are going to keep reoccurring. And literally in the past 2 years, he hasn't been at his best in the past 2 years, and he's been getting these reoccurring muscular injuries time and time again. And the main question I want to propose to you guys is it time to sell N'Golo Kante? For me, it is, because he's now on a steep decline. He's going to be 30 years of age soon. Will we see Kante at his best? I don't think so. We have to manage him carefully, and remember, he's on extortionate wages, £290,000 a week. There are many factors here that you have to take into consideration, and you can't have Kante sitting on the bench with the amount of wages that he's on, with the player that he is. He wouldn't be happy sitting on the bench, the calibre and the name that he is. But Jorginho and Kovacic has simply been much better than Kante, so you can't fit Kante into that system, into that team. Now, Tuchel has a lot of praise for Kante. Tuchel admires Kante, but if he keeps getting these muscular injuries, if he's not looked after properly, and he doesn't put in world-class performances week in, week out, I don't genuinely see a world where Kante gets into his team and plays regularly, and therefore I think should be sold. I'm sure many clubs will be interested in N'Golo Kante, as Inter Milan are, and if we're looking to sell him, I would presume between the region of 60 to 70 million pounds. Now, Mourinho and Sky, and of course the Chelsea hierarchy, would be open and potentially open to selling him, and they were in the summertime, but now I think they definitely would, especially with the money that some clubs would offer, whether that's the PSG, whether that's Inter Milan. Ultimately, the final decision will come down to Thomas Tuchel, which he will make in the summer. He can't really make an assessment right now. He's already said everyone has a clean slate. He will make an assessment at the end of the summer who he wants to sell, who he wants to bring in. And that's why that will be leading me on to my final point in this video, and that is in regards to Kepa Arrizabalaga and the point that I'm reiterating about a clean slate for every single player. Now, Thomas Tuchel, these are in his words, in his quotes that he came in his press conference, saying that absolutely can Kepa kickstart his Chelsea career. He will play tomorrow, i.e. tonight, Chelsea. Kepa will definitely play against Barnsley this evening. He said that he will start tonight. From the outside, we had a view on the situation and saw some difficulties on the Sporting side. Now, again, when he first came to the squad, he stressed and reiterated that every single player will get a clean slate under Thomas Tuchel. That's a fact. And don't forget, he's our record signing. He's the world's most expensive keeper, and we need to raise his market value. How do you raise his market value? By playing him week in, week out, and ensuring that he puts in good performances. And that is down to confidence. We know Kepa is short on confidence, but if Tuchel can get the best out of him, we could potentially sell him on in the next 1 year or 2 years. Or, miraculously, if he puts in his top performances week in, week out, he could be our starting number one and become world class. Although, again, don't forget, Kepa is still young. He's only 25. Keepers don't hit their prime until very, very late on. I've always rated Kepa. I know he's an average shot stopper, but he's good with his feet. He's a super keeper. is a massive financial mistake, but I think we can rectify it slowly, and I think we have the right coaches. I think we have the right manager to instill that confidence back in him. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. But what do you guys think? Do you think Kepa should be given another chance, or do you think that Kepa should be sold ASAP? Leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. But if you did enjoy this video, smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, comment down below your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.